Hi, this is Diana Papilli with day 40 of 100 days of videos. For several days now, we've been talking about life balance, the making sure that the four aspects of ourselves, the spiritual, the mental or intellectual, the emotional, and the physical aspects are in balance, that we're giving reasonably equal time to all four of those aspects. I've talked about living in our heart, which is where we want to make our decisions from our heart, not from our head or from any other aspect of ourselves, but from our heart. And the best way to do that is to make sure that we have equal time and equal balance with love, wisdom, and power, which is in our heart. So how do we go about this? Because it sounds a bit complicated, right? For example, what if we, excuse me, I got a little bit raspiness going on here, a little bit of raspy throat, maybe trying to get a sore throat here. So, hi Larry, see ya there. I saw your hello there. So what do? Do we sit down and we think, okay, gee, should I take this new job? So let's see, is the physical aspect of myself in balance? Is the emotional? Is the mental? Is the spiritual? Let's see, am I doing equal love, wisdom, and power and all of that? No, of course not. That's not what we're going to do. That's not how we're going to think. What we're going to do, and here's what I recommend, is to make this a way of life. I'd like to share with you an example. If you truly want to be healthy and fit, you don't go on a diet, because what do you do when you go on a diet is when you're done with the diet, you go off the diet. And a lot of times we just gain the weight back. So the best way to lose weight is to make this way of eating, this way of living, the way of exercising and eating, a way of life. And then if you've gained a couple of pounds or if you need to lose weight, you go into weight loss mode, which is just a little bit restrictive. And depending on what method of weight loss you're using, I'm not going to get into that at the moment, but then you would just restrict your intake, lessen that a little bit until you've reached your desired weight, and then you'd go on maintenance. That is the best way to lose weight. Well, that's also the best way to have life balance, is to make it a way of life. Now, if your life is out of balance, if you're focusing too much on one aspect and not enough on the other three, or whatever number you want to come up with, then it's best to, again, try to make it a way of life. But some people, now it just depends on you as an individual. Some people do a great job with just totally coming in and tearing down the existing structure and rebuilding from the ground up. That's if you go on this very dramatic weight loss program, and I know a lot of people who've done that and it's been very successful. And in the process of making those adjustments during that dramatic weight loss method, what they're doing is it's becoming a way of life. Well, you could do this with life balance, and you could just say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and do it. More often than not, though, the more successful way for people to make these kinds of changes is just one step at a time. Think of that old saying or that old analogy, how do you eat an elephant? The answer is one day at a time, one bite at a time. So take small steps. I often used to share this with some of my people I was coaching when I was a weight loss leader, a Weight Watchers leader. And what I would say is, consider if you've seen these, a lot of people have them in their cars, or you've just seen them around fairs and jewelry stores and trinkets. You'll see these very multifaceted round crystals, pendants. They're like a globe, if you will, but they're very multifaceted. They're just this round crystal. It's like a crystal ball, but it's multifaceted. I like to use this analogy. If you were to take that multifaceted crystal and put it up in a sunny window, I've got a sunny window right here, that's why I'm looking at that way. And if you were to put that up in a sunny window and hold it very still if you notice, if the sun is coming in, what you would notice is it would make all these different patterns on the wall and on the ceiling. And that's absolutely true. All you'd have to do is rotate it 1 degree. That's it, just 1 degree. What would happen to those patterns on the wall? They would change dramatically. Dramatically. It wouldn't look the same way. That's how we sometimes need to make changes in our lives. 1 bite at a time, 1 step at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 little turn at a time, whatever analogy you want to use. So start with a small, simple change to get life balance. If you need to spend more time concentrating on your physical health, then what is it that you need to do? Do you need to bring your cholesterol down? Do you need to lose weight? Do you need to build up your strength because you're weak from having been ill? What is it? Whatever it is that you need to do, make 1 small step. It will usually result, especially if you integrate it, it will usually result in a giant difference. So that's what I recommend you do with life balance. Just make 1 small change. Take a look at 1 area. Maybe it's spiritual. Maybe you just need to spend a little bit more time thinking about what's important to you, trying to make a connection to your higher power, to whatever source that you honor in your life. And whatever that is, make that connection. Maybe that's all you need to do. Maybe you just need to sit down, for 5 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes at night or both, and just say a few prayers or do some affirmations, whatever it is that's your belief system. Again, I'm not here to convert you to any kind of belief system. I'm just here recommending that you have one. And so, or maybe it's something else. Maybe you've always wanted to learn a foreign language. This is a good time to invest in Babbel or Rosetta Stone, and maybe just spend 20 minutes a day studying that language. Do you realize what could happen after spending 20 minutes a day studying a language every day for, say, 6 months or a year? You'd have a lot of mastery on that language. So I need to follow that advice. I've always wanted to be fluent in Italian, and I'm still not fluent in Italian. I need to follow my own advice there. So maybe I'll do that. But the thing is, just take it 1 bite, 1 step, 1 day at a time. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, or if you would like to see a video on a certain topic, by all means suggest it. If it's part of what's in my repertoire and if it's part of my sphere of knowledge, then I would be happy to share that with, share my thoughts on it or share what I know about it. If it's not part of my sphere of knowledge and it doesn't take too much investment in time and energy over the course of the remaining 60 days of this process, then I'd be happy to even learn about it, whatever it might be. I'm always happy to learn new things and keep my mind active. Have a great day, and I'll be talking to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.